how do you become confident for real? Like not standing in front of a mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful kind of bullcrap, because what real confident person will ever do that? Before I tell you how to be confident, I want to tell you how not to be confident, because having the wrong idea of confidence will only make it counterproductive. The first thing is, you need to forget about your lack of confidence, because the more you think about how you're not confident, the more you reinforce that idea. It's like a negative feedback loop that just keeps you in that vicious cycle. It's good that you notice you have a problem with confidence. Actually, a lot of people struggle with this problem. Even the most successful and beautiful people you know struggle with it sometimes. The truth is, you're not going to feel confident all the time. It's normal to feel down sometimes, and that's okay. The important thing is to acknowledge that thought and then let it pass. Your thoughts don't define you, your actions do. But thoughts influence actions, so be careful what you think about. Next time you feel like telling yourself you're not confident, just catch yourself and change that thought. On the other end of the spectrum, some people take confidence to the point of arrogance. Instead of being realistic and truthful to themselves, they live in their own heads and tell themselves they are the best in the world, they are the smartest in the world, and they are the prettiest in the world. This is not confidence, this is just narcissism and self-delusion. That's why you often see that the most arrogant people have the lowest self-esteem at the same time, because their confidence is not real. Instead of actually doing the work to cultivate real confidence, they choose to put on a mask. A mask is a mask, it falls off. These people are usually very painful behind closed doors. The thing is, being confident is not about being the best in the world, because you can't possibly compare yourself to the world. You can only strive to be the best version of yourself. Now that we've tackled the most common misunderstanding about confidence, let's talk about the two layers of confidence. I believe there is an outer layer of confidence and an inner layer of confidence. The outer layer of confidence is how you look, how you talk, and how you behave. Basically, how other people perceive you on the outside. Is it important? Of course it is. If you seem confident, there will be a lot more opportunities opened up to you, and it will in turn boost your confidence more. But if the outer layer is all you have, the moment you get challenged or rejected in life, it shatters. Just like that. And that's why there has to be an inner layer of confidence as well. When you have the inner layer of confidence, you know at your core that you are the best asset you have. You can lose everything and everyone, but you can't lose yourself. No one can take you away from you. You believe in your ability to keep growing and ultimately become who you want to be. Now let's talk about how to actually become confident. I'm going to start with the inner layer because you simply can't have true confidence without it. I think the most undervalued way to cultivate confidence is gratitude. We tend to focus on what we don't have, but all of us rarely feel thankful for what we have. The fact that we have 2 eyes that can see and 2 legs that can walk is something that we need to be grateful for. Not everyone has that. And if you're watching this video, I can safely assume you have access to the internet and a roof on your head. Isn't that something to be grateful for too? If you think about it, at least we're lucky enough to be able to think about our confidence issue. Some people can't even afford to do that. And when we're grateful, we simply can't have negative emotions at the same time. These feelings don't coexist. Of course, being confident is not about lying to yourself that you have everything and lack nothing. Being grateful for what you have is one thing, but you also need to be honest with yourself. I'm not telling you to deny the things you think you lack. You just need to come to terms with it and be okay with it. Maybe you don't have the shape of legs you want. You just need to learn to accept yourself. Or maybe your job isn't ideal. You need to accept the fact that it isn't your ideal, and if you're really not okay with it, then take actions to change. Taking actions is a cure-all. Action is the only way to change your current situation, and that's what makes your confidence justified, not just wishful thinking. You might not be where you want to be yet, but you believe in your ability to achieve whatever you set your mind to. You go out there and you do it. You will fail, but you get up and you do it again, and again. Real confidence is not about achieving the level of being fearless. It's facing your fear and doing it anyway. Like, making this video talking about confidence is actually quite scary to me, but I'm doing it for you and for me too. Being confident is about being self-aware and looking at your strengths and weaknesses objectively. Focusing on your strengths is very important when it comes to building your confidence. We all have something that we're good at. Some are obvious, some not quite. For example, you could be really good at a certain subject from a very young age, and it's obvious to everyone. Then you should definitely keep developing that strength. Or it could be that you are very compassionate by nature. You might not recognize that as a strength, but it is an extremely valuable quality in a person, and you should be very proud of that. And you can use it to help people. If you don't use your strengths, you're robbing it from yourself and from everyone else. Of course, we all have weak spots, and it's important that we recognize them. There are some weaknesses that you can improve, and some you can do nothing about. It's important to know the difference too. You take actions to improve what you can, and come to terms with what you cannot. Just don't spend your entire life dwelling on your weaknesses while you can spend that time developing your strengths. Another thing about being confident is that you need to be able to allow yourself to make mistakes and laugh about it. Even the most intelligent people on earth can make stupid mistakes sometimes. And that's just a part of being human. We don't need to be so serious all the time and pretend like we know it all. We don't. There are a lot of things we don't know. In fact, the more we learn, the more we realize we don't know. Being able to admit what you don't know is true confidence. It's okay we don't know. That's why we keep learning. And now let's move towards the outer layer of confidence. Actually, when you have the inner layer of confidence, it can reflect on the outer layer. But we can still take actions to improve and have what's on the outside align with our inner state. The most direct way to show your confidence is to smile. This is the hard one for me because I have a resting bitch face. I actually need to remind myself to smile. So depending on your facial expression situation, just pay attention to this. Don't forget to smile. Your health and wellness also affects your confidence. Doing exercise regularly and eating healthy food can help you boost your confidence. Plus, when you look into the mirror and see a toned body and radiating skin, you'll feel more confident as a result. Your body language affects your confidence as well. If you walk around slouching, you're going to feel less confident. But if you raise your chest up and hold your head high, you're going to feel instantly more confident. And when you interact with someone, a firm handshake and direct eye contact also conveys confidence. By the same token, your voice and your language also reflects your confidence level. When you talk, speak up to make yourself heard, and have the courage to express your thoughts and opinions. Although I know this one takes a lot of work because you need to be informed when you express your opinions, and that takes a lot of continuing learning. This is something that I will consistently be working on. Last but not least, the way you dress reflects your confidence. I've met a lot of people who don't care about how they dress, but from my personal experience, dressing well opens up a lot of doors. And when your style reflects who you are on the inside, you exude confidence without having to say anything. You don't need to be fancy, just make sure your clothes are of good quality, clean, and no rip.